want to say you were talking about crypto, and I don't know shit about that, but I want to talk about something because
Yeah.
I had a feeling on something, and I want to share this. So if anyone else, if this ever happens to anyone else, and if ever happens to me, I'm gonna know. But I had some money to invest like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I don't remember when it was. The market had just crashed, right? And I had left my government job, and when you
Talking after the '08 crash.
yeah, right after it.
Oh yeah, you want to know how much I lost during that?
Wait, stop. I'm
Go ahead.
trying to say something. So I had all this money and I couldn't take it out because they tax the shit out of you. They take like half of it. So I at the time was, trying to get well from Lyme disease, whatever, and I was spending a lot of money at Whole Foods. And I went and I talked to like the financial advisor. I'm like, listen, I want to put all my retirement money and buy stocks in Whole Foods. He's like, no, you don't. You want to do blah, 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 and the bank and this and that. And I'm like, God, I really want to put it all into Whole Foods. I didn't have a lot. It was like maybe 40K. So he talked me out of it. Motherfucker, I put only 20K into Whole Foods. I made $100,000 in like 6 months. If I would have put the whole 40, it doubles.
Let me
it
stop you. Let
triples.
me just stop you right there because I was a finance major in college. That guy did his job because if you're going to him and just say,
It doesn't matter. It's
I got 40K. I want to bet it all on Whole Foods. What happens if Whole Foods crash to shit? Your 40 grand is now worth too.
My intuition knew that it was going to make me money, and I didn't fucking listen to myself. I listened to the guy.
Okay. How did you do with the other 20,000? So you put 20,000 into Whole Foods. Shit. You made back, let's say 100. You 5x your money in 6 months. What happened to the other 20?
Nothing. It made shit. And I didn't have the market had crashed. I couldn't buy the stocks at the same price. So the opportunity was there and I didn't take it. Right. I could have made 500K in the 6 months versus whatever. The point of the story.
Did you make money?
That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that when you feel something like 100%, and it doesn't have to do with money. It can have to do with a person, a job, or don't get on this plane, or it could be a bad feeling too. Like you got to listen. If you know, and something's telling you like, no, like I feel this way. Don't let someone talk you out of it.
Okay. That's fair. I was just saying from a money manager and investment standpoint, if you came to me and like, CJ, I got 40K, I want to bet the farm on Whole Foods, I'd be like, you can't do that because if your whole nut is 40,000 and that's all you got and you make a bad bet, you're fucked. Hey, if you you're like, I feel ultra strong. What I would say to you is if you feel that strong, do half and play half safe just in case. So it sounds like you played half safe and you kind of listened to him. And yeah, the other half probably didn't make shit compared to the 5 times the money you made on the 20. And it's easy from somebody that's not into economics and finance and all that shit to say, I could have made this. Here's what I'll tell you. Most traders, any crypto stocks, whatever, most traders, you want to know how much money they lose till they know what they're doing?
That's not the point, though. I knew 100% that it was going to make me a lot of money, and I didn't listen to my inner core.
Intuition. You didn't listen to your intuition.
No.
But you called the financial advisor. And the reason you called that financial advisor is you're like, hey, I have a bunch of money here and I want your expertise. And his expertise told you
that's not what happened.
Don't go all in.
That's not what happened. My money was tied up like in an IRA or whatever it is. So I had to go to the office to like do something with it. It's not like I had it.
No, I got you.
It wasn't liquid. I didn't have any cash.
No, IRAs are liquid. If you wanted to put 100% of that shit, you could have done it if you pushed the issue. But
yes, I didn't push it.
You had your intuition.
I learned a lesson.
You did.
To next time, always listen 100% to my inner, when it's that clear. If you're like, oh, I don't know, and you're indecisive, like that's not intuition. Intuition is like you feel it, like it's your life, like even if it's not a given, you know it's a given, right?
Yeah. Well, I was sharing with you, like I have some investments that I made, and you said you did a reading for me and you said you have a block with money and this and that, and you got to, stick to it. And I said, I just looked at you. I said, "No, I'm good. I have investments in crypto. There's no doubt in my mind. It's millions. Just when. It's not today. Market's beat up. It's when." I will say this to anybody listening. My background's business and finance, and I agree with 100% what Jess said. I will disagree with her on this. When it comes to fucking your money, I don't care how strong your feeling is, play it safe with a percent. You did 50-50. Fair enough. You made money. You could have made this, but you did make this. Let me tell you something, guys. If you're doing stock trading or investments and you make money, you made fucking money. Be happy. Could you have made more? Sure. Hindsight's always fucking 100%. You know what I mean?
Well, I could have took a risk. That's what it is. Like sometimes in life, you got to take a risk, and it's not always.
I'm just saying, don't bet the farm when it comes to your personal money. If it's all you got,
it's gone now. I already bet it. It's gone. That was before. That was before I had kids and stuff. And
my nephew. Okay, so I'll just give you another example, which you just said, that you can feel it and because my nephew, before all the GameStop shit was on the news, he's a big gamer. He was playing World of Warcraft online. He's 28 now, so he's started playing World of Warcraft when he was 12, online multiplayer, always into gaming. He would always go to GameStop, trade his games, buy used games. Anyways, when he was very young, his grandfather left him some money, he invested in GameStop. But a bunch of shares, just because he shopped there, he went there, he didn't do any research or analytics. He just was a gamer. He believed in the company. He invested. Well, then 10 years later, all that crazy it was a few years ago that all the crazy GameStop, it was a short squeeze. If you're not into stocks, there's a bunch of big hedge funds. They're shorting the stock, betting on the price to go down. What happened?
Really?
All the big dogs are betting your price of your stock is going down. All the little guys in the game are like, shit, all the big dogs are betting that's going to go down. Fuck, I'm going to sell. It's going to go down. They know something I don't. What do you think happened? The actual opposite. All the fucking gamers, when Robinhood came out, all the gamers could buy $10, $20, $30 worth of it. Short squeeze. What happens when all these shorts, and they're leveraged shorts, meaning they don't buy the stock, they're betting, and they say they have $100,000, they're betting with 10x leverage. So they're betting $1 million that the price is going to go down. What happens if the price goes up? That $100,000 bet gets wiped out, and now they have to go buy GameStop stock. Price go. Anyways, long story short, he bought GameStop when he was young. All of a sudden, it's worth like $80,000, $90,000. It's like it was a couple $100, and then all this shit's on the news, and he checks it. It's worth like 70 or 80 grand, somewhere around there. I'm not sure the exact number, but what you were speaking of, he felt it. He knew. He was a gamer. He put his money down, and it wasn't a lot, but for an 18, 19-year-old kid, a couple $100, whatever he threw in there, was a lot,
Yeah, I can't even watch what's going on. You mentioned it earlier to me this weekend about
the war,
the stuff on the news. Yeah. And
the new war. There's enough wars in the world. There's just a new one popping off.
Yeah, but I was in the gym tonight and it was on the TV because that's what they have on in there. And my friend said something and I got the chills, and when I get the chills it means like truth.
Yeah, I've gotten the chills with you. I know if you got chills, I'm sure.
So anyway,
well, listen, if you ever get the chills about another stock, can you just let me know and I'll check it out for you in depth. I'll throw some money. If you call me and say, CJ, I got the chills about this company, I'm gonna probably just throw some money at it for Jess Factor. I'm gonna call it the Jess Factor.
Well, I think that is going to make the market kind of go crazy, probably.
What's that? The war?
That's just all right. I don't know.
I agree with you. The market do react to that.
I'm not a finance person.
No, I am macro. So macroeconomics.
Intuitively.
Yes, intuitively. I'm telling you, I do macroeconomics for fun. Yes, I know that makes me a dork. Anybody that looks there, but that looking at macroeconomics, how the whole world comes into play to affect finance. Oh God, I should bring Aaron on the channel sometimes. He's insane. He saw the whole COVID thing. He saw the housing shortage. Anyways, he took longs betting the price would go up on lumber. The price of wood for building materials, like at the end of COVID, like went astronomical and he made a killing. God, when that one plane crashed along like 2 years ago from the engine, he was shorting all the airplane stocks, and they did the investigation, and it turned out that there was a flaw in the engine, let's say, and all the airplane stocks crashed. Yeah, he cashed it. He's insane. He'll look at but he'll just look at data. You do it intuitively. Wars do affect financial markets. And from my perspective, I'm really hoping, and I'm pretty sure standard S&P 500, NASDAQ, Nikkei, like all the big ones you see on TV, they're all going to pull back from the uncertainty. People are going to want to take the chips off the table, hold some cash just to wait and see how that plays out. But what happens with all those chips they take off the table? Well, if the stock market pulls back and it goes down and now you're sitting on cash, what do I throw it at? Oh, where's daddy playing? Crypto. Oh shit, I can make a quick 5 times my money. Real quick.
And let me state the obvious, or at least what I think is the obvious. A lot of people, oh, that's way over there. We're not affected by that. Okay. We're on a planet. We're on a planet. We're all on one planet. It's a circle, right? We're all sharing energy. So even if something's way over there, it's still here. Just like if you and I, you're in Massachusetts, correct? So you and I are not really that close, but we're a little bit close. Our energy is connected. It doesn't matter how far away something is. And they've done studies on this with like twins and people and what, that's the divine intervention thing.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So what you just spoke to. Energy, time, distance, and I heard something the other day, time isn't like really linear. Everything's happening at the same exact time for you. Okay, that can warp your brain, but to stay on topic, you just said, our connection, our energy. We've been doing videos on this channel for what? At this point, guys, just over a week.
2 weeks. Yeah, not even 2
Not
weeks.
even 2 weeks, Jess. This is maybe 8 days. I was talking to a friend the other night, and they were like, I was telling them about this, and I was like, how many videos do you guys have? I'm like, I think close to 20 right now. Like, in a week? I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, just let me ask you, because I can tell your face is lit up. Have you not been having fun doing this? I've been having so much fun. It is work. It is stuff we have to put into it, but I've been enjoying it.
And I've been enjoying it 100%. And the fact that we link up so easily is not common.
No.
Like I want to appreciate that, because I've been waiting. This idea has been in my brain for like a year.
This whole channel is your idea and your vision. I am here to share your gift, Jess.
No, it's your idea too. You said to me, I want to do something together, and I already had the idea, but I wouldn't have presented it to you because you were like a stranger.
Yes, you didn't tell me that you had already thought of this, but when I did say it to you, like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do a podcast with a man from both perspectives on a thing. You came up with a name too, Jill. When you first told me, I was like, nah. And guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest right now. I fucking spelled it wrong. I'm math brained. I am logic brained. I can't fucking spell cat. And I told her to try. I go, oh, I set the channel up, Jess. She's like, I can't find it. And I sent her a link. She's like, oh, you spelled it differently. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, I spelled it right, because you want 2 perspectives, and dual is a fight, and men or women are always in their energy battling for, even in a relation, not, I don't want to say battling, struggling or whatever, for control. It's always going back and forth, or who's in the lead. It's always back and forth and give and take, what have you. And it should be that way. It shouldn't be one person's always here and one person's always there. It should be a back and forth like this until you come into balance. And then it's just, the movements are so small you can't even see them. It just flows.
Yeah. All right. So we all are connected. I'm going to speak on the time thing, because I heard something today. I'm going to share publicly. Like, I'm freaking out because I got to find a place to live. And I have a big St. Bernard, and I can find a place to live, but a lot of places don't want the dog, right? So I heard something today, and it totally spoke to me, and it said, stop worrying about tomorrow, stop worrying about next week, stop worrying about next month. Like, all we have is right now, and whatever thoughts we're thinking right now in this moment, right? is what is creating tomorrow, the next day, a week from now, whatever. So when you catch yourself, anyone listening, catch yourself thinking, what if, oh my God, the anxiety thinking, right? Because that's how our brain wants to do. Like, we what if everything. I do it. I have people that I work with that do it. And I'm like, stop doing that. You're what ifing, just enjoy the connection or whatever you're doing. And oh, what if this happened? What if that happens? And so time really is something that I think humans created supposedly, and that we can affect our timeline by how we're thinking right now.
So I've been, and you know, since you shared you're looking for a place. So I have, my main business is by trade, I'm an electrician, and I have a large corporate client that everybody would know the name if I said it. And in January of this year, they started restructuring, and they basically were not doing any maintenance until we finish this. And it wasn't just me personally, it was other people that I've been doing work for them for a long time. And as everybody, and they basically non-emergency, and emergency would be like drastic emergency. They weren't doing anything. They basically fired everybody that was handling that. They had to reapply for their job, and they changed up the regions and how they did it. And it took them just last month, work orders started coming through again. And how I took it, I've been very present in the present moment and practicing presence for a while now. Jess, I'm 1,000% honest with you. Money was tight. It was a tough year, and I had a lot of legal expenses or personal things I'm dealing with, and above and beyond my normal day-to-day. Rent's expensive, inflation is crazy, and you know what? Not one time did I ever stress about money. Not one time did I not say, you know what? I'm good. This is gonna be fine. Like, I've been a contractor with this for like over a decade. So I have these other people, and it's not just me. I've talked to other guys in different trades that work for the same company, and it's all of us. And talk to management. It's everybody, you know. And didn't worry, didn't sweat it. And you know what? Every time that money needed to come up, rent time, food time, something would come up. I would work for somebody else, or you know, they would have an emergency and some money would come in. And I got to the point, I'm like, you know what? Universe is driving. I'm good. I never once doubted it, because you said in the last video we did, just put it in your brain. You doubted it, or you just said it's fucked up. Never one. And I would have friends say to me like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm like, no, I'm good. It's gonna be fine. And every single time it was fine. It might have been to the last minute. It was fine. And you know, things turned around. Things worked out. I had some other people that you know, I know that are in the same trade, and they're like, hey, I just got a lot of work. I need some help. And you know, pay. Cool, man. Awesome. I'm there. Help them out, help me out. So, you know, belief and your mindset and being present in the present moment. And I've literally had people that know me. How are you not worried about this? How are you not? I'm like, I'm good, man. Don't worry about it. And it just works out. There's a lot to be said for that. Look, I can't say that's everybody's experience, but I will also say this. I've done a lot of work, and I do a lot of self-care. And during that time, I'm gonna be 100% honest. There were some days, all I could do is, if I didn't have my kids that day, I wouldn't see anybody. And all I could do that day was meditate for 2 hours in the morning, do 30 minutes of yoga, go to the gym for 2 hours, come home, eat, and meditate for another 2-3 hours and go to bed. My whole day was my self-care. But there was never a doubt in my mind, not one day. And you know what? Like a wise person once said to me, everything is working out for me. It's just falling into place effortlessly and naturally. And you know what? I get it sounds crazy. I get a lot of people may watch this someday and be like, no, fuck you. Like, I have to worry about these things. No, you don't. You don't have to worry about it. Because if you think about it like this, and this is where I was at. I know I'm going a little rant here, and you want me to talk more, but I'm gonna share. Here's where I was at. In this present moment, right now, even let's just say right this very second, is there anything I can do to put more money in my bank account right this second? No. No, there's not. Is there anything I can do in the next hour? Nope. Is there anything I can do in the next 2 hours? No. 6 hours? No. Is there anything I can do when I wake up tomorrow morning? Yeah, maybe tomorrow morning I can make a phone call and see if I can do this or that, or maybe I can try and sell this thing that's sitting in a collectible or whatever, some jewelry I haven't worn in a long time because I need some money right now. There are some things I can do when I wake up tomorrow. And when you get to that place,
Mm-hmm.
the stress and the anxiety are gone. Because you know what? Right this second is worrying about the future beneficial to me? No. Is there anything I can do right now? And if you're sitting in this place and it's noontime on a Wednesday, is there something I can do right now? And if there is, okay, go do that. I don't know. It's just when you do those things and you practice that presence and you get that no doubt, like you said about the stock pick, there's no doubt in your mind, you're good. It'll happen.
Yeah. Well, that's so practicing presence and then also letting go, right? That's the second part that we have to be aware of, and letting go and not controlling it and letting it kind of go in our mind crazy.
No, I didn't even think to tie it to that, but I'm really happy that you did. Is right. Letting go of control. Some people would stay up all night worrying about those things. If they had bills to pay or they had to get groceries or they had to make rent, you're going to not sleep and worry about it all night. Why worry about it? If there's literally nothing you can do about it that time, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not asleep and you're staying up and you're stressing about it. Can you do anything at 1 o'clock? And is there anything you can do right now at 1 a.m. to change that situation? If there's not, don't worry about it. Go to sleep, figure it out tomorrow,
Or if you want and you feel good about it, some people, they can pray, they can, they can write something down. And I mean, I'm big into manifesting, but
yes,
praying is also releasing and giving and asking for, stuff to come in and having that opening, because
that's
we
why
have to.
some days all I could do was yoga, workout, meditate, go back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
That was all I could do. I'm surviving, and this is all I can do, my routine.
Right. But if some people are struggling and they want something or want to know what they can do to like change the situation, practicing and letting go is just like the beginning. And then guided action and, trusting that things will work out, and not really getting stuck in that fear-based type of thoughts and energy, because that just attracts more, like attracts like, the magnets, there's so many things.
I think if you get yourself, are you trying to say if you get yourself stuck in that negative energy of worry of shit, I'm not going to do this. There's no way I can come up with this. There's no way I can happen. And that just keeps spiraling. And that's what you're putting out. And that's what you're going to get back. Is that what you're trying to say on that?
Yeah. Like the energy of being like fear, despair, like, oh my God, like, being so worried about an outcome. And I've been there.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
I've been there. I've definitely felt that kind of energy. It's
awful. I have as well. Yes.
Yeah. When you're in fear and despair and you don't have control of what's going to happen and you're kind of like, waiting or whatever, it's really uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's important to have tools and things to pull you out of that, right? And to get into gratitude and to get into, all right, I have food right now. I have a bed to sleep in right now. I have hot water. These are things that we take for granted that, a lot of things, people, places, countries, whatever, don't even have the basic.
Yep. So I was watching Jay Shetty, the giant podcaster, who's on Oprah. Everybody's heard of him. And he studied with Buddhist monks, which I would love to do if I could possibly ever get the opportunity. But he studied with like the fucking like upper echelons of Buddhist monks, whatever that was. So he's following around this like super high up monk. And what he said, what you just spoke to, was everybody thinks these guys are great and they have so much inner peace, but when they realize they go to bed at 9 a.m. and wake up at 4 a.m. every day, but what he said was the first thing they do when they get up at 4 a.m. is gratitude. Thank you to the earth. Thank you for the sunrise today. Thank you for the food I'm going to eat later. Thank you for literally giving gratitude and thanks first thing when they wake up. And you've told me to say everything is working out for me, and I find myself, I'm not even going to shit you, Jess, I find myself saying that a few times every day. But moreover on that, if you get to a point, let's just say you're stressed about money, you're stressed about whatever, like you're looking for a place and you're on a time crunch, and you shared with me earlier, like, I'm a little stressed because I can find a place that I can afford, but I have my dog, I love my dog, and she was just in the shot, and she's got to come with, she's part of the family, I get that, and you stress out about that. And if you find yourself doubting, you can say, hey, you know what, I'm grateful she's in our lives. I am grateful for my daughters. I am grateful that I'm doing something I enjoy. I'm grateful that I've been able to help so many people in my career. And when you start thanking, and myself, I do it a lot. I say, thank you for everything. Thank you for the home I found for my children. Thank you for my children. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. I literally do it all the time. And when you do that, your thoughts shift to a different place, right?
Yeah, the energy changes completely. I was saying earlier that I wanted to do one on the Ho'oponopono or whatever it is, because it's the first thing they say is thank you, I love you, I forgive you, and it changes the energy of everything. So it's interesting, like just these little bits and pieces. So yeah, I get stuck in it. I think about it because I have to deal with the situation, but I don't allow myself all day long to be controlled by worry, because I refuse to live like that.
Nope.
It can get me though. It'll get me for like an hour, maybe sometimes a little more, but I also, I'm the head of a household, and
we're both parents. We both have actually, we both have two small humans that we're responsible for. So at the end of the day, hell or high water, there's shit we have to figure out.
Yeah. And I think that my animals are just as important. I don't care. They're human to me, and maybe even better, because they don't give me any shit.
Animals are better than humans.
All right. So closing thoughts. Your mom doesn't like that, right? We're not supposed to be saying that.
No, she got mad about my mom gave some constructive criticism, because at the end of like one of the things, I do our editing for right now, and I apparently poorly edit it, and you could hear me say like in the transition to the closing clip that like, oh, that was 3 minutes, we killed it, it was perfect. Like, my bad, I forgot to clip it up. Like, we haven't been doing this very long. I have
this is let's videos, say right now.
Like, I want to hire an editor someday, and I won't have to deal with that shit. We can just do what we do.
And this is 100% raw. We do not practice.
I think it's pretty fucking obvious.
Is it?
It's very fucking obvious.
All right.
No, we have a good flow and we get our points across. But I'm saying, as far as production quality, like intro, outro, blah, 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 switching cameras, guys, we'll do all that shit. Like, we get 100K subscribers, we will have like a nice studio rented. Justin's gonna come in full fucking makeup and dresses and shit. Like, we'll get there someday. But for right now, we're just chilling at our houses.
Okay. Well, whatever. We're not.
Listen, if we ever make it big on our channel, like, I'm not doing suits. I'm doing like Adidas warm-up pants and t-shirts. That's it.
I'm not wearing dresses. Don't start telling, oh, she's gonna wear dresses and makeup. That's not
fucking around. I was fucking around. We're both gonna do studio makeup and get our hair done. Like, introduce your dog. She keeps coming into the shot. Tell everybody.
Roxy, say hi, mommy. Come on. She knows I'm talking to you, so she gets jealous and she comes and pushes my arm up.
All right. So just so everybody knows, just so we can talk some shit about us. There's a nightclub in Boston called the Roxy, which was a super cheesy like night at the Roxbury. It was probably like modeled after this nightclub. But I used to go there a lot when I was and I was making fun of Jess. I was like, oh, maybe I bumped into you at the Roxy. She's like, oh my God, yes, I've
been there, done bad things there.
You did bad things there? What kind of bad things?
I don't know, got drunk and acting crazy on the dance floor. Nothing too crazy.
Did you have like, were you like, okay, like we got a few minutes. We got like 6 minutes left because I didn't switch the account yet to the upgrade one. Wait, did you not have like an active like 20s? Like, did you not do like all the clubs and get crazy and go nuts and shit?
I went to Miami once for spring break.
For spring break.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really get that crazy. I was crazier actually before my 20s. Is that's kind of nuts, right? Like before the drinking age, I was crazy. Then when I was able to drink, I was like, I already did that.
I'm gonna have to take you out a couple of nights, Jess. I'm gonna have to help you make up for some lost time and have you have some fun. I was the polar opposite. I had a good time in my 20s and early 30s. I'll leave it at that. But
yeah, I had a very high core job in my 20s that
so did I, but Miami, it was like a weekend trip for crazy. There were 4 or 5 day benders in my past, but hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
It happens. There was an incident with a steak and cheese sub. My brother and JT know him.
Yeah. I'm more of a balanced person, so even back then.
Oh, I was balanced back then. You know, I'll tell a funny story to close this up. I don't even know if I should share this publicly, but no, my brother and my roommate would laugh. So my senior year at UT, which was 98, you were there. Myself, my brother, and a good friend of mine, JT, and a friend of my brother's as well. All of us like wrote it down on paper and presented to our parents. Hey, here's how much it costs for the dorm. Here's how much it is for the meal plan. You know, me and my friends can get a 3-bedroom and we'll have all this extra money you're saving on the meal plan and etc. And we can buy groceries and electric and we itemize that shit, like put in spreadsheets. And all of our parents are like, okay, fine. It's the same amount of money. And we had like a sick luxury apartment and we could pay groceries and all the bills with the same amount. I think it was actually a little bit less. Anyway, we didn't have much food. Where guys were in college and we were going out a lot. So I was out all night and I came home at like 11 the next afternoon, and it was on a Sunday, and my brother and our roommate JT were on the couch watching football, and they were degenerate gamblers. Fuck you, both of you, because you know you are. Anyway, they still are to this day. Anyways, I come home after an all night. They went home. I wasn't with them, and I come home at like around 11 noon, and I open the refrigerator door. I had a half a steak and cheese sub from a pizza place left over. All I'm thinking about on my ride home and at the after party of whoever's place I'm at is the steak and cheese I get to eat, and I'm gonna go to bed. And I get home and I open the fridge and I look inside, and there's a bottle of ketchup and a bottle of mustard on the door and nothing else. And I turn and look at them and I'm like, where's my fucking sub? And they both start dying laughing. And remember, it's ingrained in my mind. My brother's laying on the love seat with a bowl of cereal on his lap, on his chest like this. He's laughing. JT's laying on the other couch, laughing. I slam the refrigerator door. I'm like, you think this is funny, motherfuckers? I walk behind the couch where my brother's laying, and I pick it up and flip it over on him, and he's eating a bowl of cereal, so that all spills all over him. Our roommate's like, holy shit. Me and my brother start fist fighting, beating the shit out of each other.
Oh my God, what the hell?
He breaks it up. I go in my room. Then they flip the couch over, and I had a giant bong, and that fell, and I heard the glass shatter. And I open my bedroom door and I look at my brother, who they flipped the couch back over, but it fell over and broke. And I go, you just did that on purpose, motherfucker. He's like, fuck you, blah, 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 you dickhead. I go over and grab it was a 2-foot bong. I grab a sharded glass section like this big, and I'm trying to stab him. He runs into the kitchen and pulls a giant knife out of the butcher block, and we're ready to kill each other over this shit. And our roommate jumps in between us and like, yo, you guys are trying to kill each other. over half a fucking sub. And both of us just like stopped and are like, fuck.
That's crazy.
No, it gets better. My brother opens the refrigerator door, and you know the little buttered thing that flips down? That was solid white on our fridge. They hid it in there as a joke. He opens that, pulls it out, and fucking throws it at me, explodes against the wall. It's like, here's your sub, asshole. I felt like such a piece of shit.
Yes, that's very bad.
And I just walked into my bedroom at that point.
Oh my God.
I don't know how
All
we
right.
got on that topic, but yeah.
That's hysterical. I'm glad you shared that. Crazy as it is, that was definitely entertainment value. So good.
Yo, we literally almost killed each other over half. Like we joke about it now, but yeah, no. And there's witnesses on that shit. But flipping the couch over with him eating the cereal was fucking hilarious. It was
oh my God. I would have been like, I'm not cleaning that. I would have been so
no,
worried
he
about
jumped out from under the couch. He's like,
please.
what the fuck?
Oh
and I just jumped over the couch and punched him in the face. That's how the fight started.
All right. Good closing.